Yeah, so we got an update on one of the stories that's been doing really well with you guys. You guys really are engaging in this content, so we're gonna keep and continue bringing you the content. Uncle Near's Fawn Weaver. So what's going on with Fawn?
Fawn Weaver is questioned about allegedly hiding $20 million of a loan from Jay-Z's venture capital firm
Okay.
under Uncle Near's brand. So basically, there was $20 million in question
Mm-hmm.
that was hidden away, or I guess the receiver didn't have knowledge of it.
Right.
And
Kind of
so
they kind of omitted the information.
basically,
Like, we just ain't never brought it up.
right.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
your boyfriend. I didn't lie. I just didn't say it.
yeah.
So, and now she's saying that that $20 million was actually never a part of the assets of Uncle Near's. It was actually given to her own entity called
Yeah.
Grant Sidney.
And I think this is the big problem with the whole Uncle Near's story. So obviously, you guys, if you've been following this, there's a $108 million dispute with this big credit union that loaned them the money. The CFO allegedly cooked up the books and lied about the assets that they had on the books in order to get this big loan. And then they had the Martha's Vineyard property and all of
Right.
this that was disputed, which is now up for sale.
Yes.
So they're kind of making some type of progress, but not really, right? So this is how they landed in this whole big dispute. But the real issue now with the receiver is a lot of the financial documents allegedly got
Right.
deleted. I don't know
Yes.
how that happened, but we know how it happened because somebody's trying to hide something. So
Yeah.
now the receiver is saying, y'all got too many side companies that's been eating off the Uncle Nearest brand. Y'all actually got a lot more cash flow and assets than y'all disclosing to y'all investors and to the courts. So let's just bundle all 6 or 7 of these subsidiaries. Really, that's what they're trying to say. They're subsidiaries. But
Yes.
Fawn Weaver and them is saying like these are companies,
Separate entities.
separate
Yes.
entities.
Mhm.
Now I will give her like, okay, the Uncle Nearest, her book, that's a separate entity.
Yes.
But they have like a bar inside the distillery. That's like a separate entity. They do like these tours. They have the Martha's Vineyard property. All those were like separate entities. Like, nah, come on, like that. All of those should be under the same Uncle Nearest brand, in my opinion.
Okay, so what's your take on the Jay-Z piece? His company is called MarcyPen,
Yes,
and he's known to be a part of liquor brands.
Right.
So it kind of makes sense for him to invest. For me, my question was, wow, Jay-Z's company invested in this like cultural, impactful liquor brand, and we didn't get one press release about it.
exactly, and that's the big part of all of this that I'm like, this is how I know something funny is going on. Why wouldn't a part of accepting capital from a Jay-Z is you get to rent the Jay-Z name and
Literally.
brand and likeness because it's like Jay-Z invested in this. So 20 million is not created equal, right? So if you go get a $20 million loan from a bank, it's like, okay, JP Morgan gave you $20 million. Congratulations.
Right.
You get a $20 million from Jay-Z. Now it's like, oh, okay, like this Jay-Z is behind this. So
Right.
I'm going to go out there and say
What?
that there could be some light at the end of the tunnel for this entire dispute with Jay-Z being his brand being thrown up in there. So for people who don't know, Jay-Z is a very good entrepreneur in the spirits liquor industry.
Right.
So he owns Douce, he owns Ace of Spade,
Right.
and he popularized Cristal. A lot of people who are
Yes.
younger, you probably don't know what that is, but that was like one of the drinks that all these rappers.
It was in all his lyrics.
Yes, he was rapping about it in all his early music, and then he went to them like, "Hey, we're affecting your business. Like, we
Yeah.
should get a brand deal." And they
They said no.
they're like, "Nah."
And I think he said, we don't drink Cristal no more.
Exactly. He said we don't drink Cristal no more, and he went out and bought this cheap champagne company and rebranded it. At first, he had a brand deal with them because they're like, "Hey, we'll do a brand deal with you,"
Right.
and he ended up buying them out. for like $56 million, rebranded it as Ace of Spade, tripled the price, put a gold bottle on it to make it like rapper friendly. Now it's like gold. You know, that goes with the aesthetic of Jay-Z. He's a boss.
But it's the same cheap champagne.
The same champagne.
But you know what? Honestly, I'm not mad at him because when you're already at the bar and you're already drinking, you don't know the difference.
Exactly. You're not going to know the difference. But, okay, so the whole Jay-Z play. I think what's going to happen is they're going to go through litigation. Uncle Nearest is going to lose. And they're going to be looking for a buyer, or Uncle Nearest might have to file bankruptcy. And then they're going to be, when you file bankruptcy, they still have a bunch of assets, but they're going to file like a restructured Chapter 11, not a Chapter 7. So now they're going to have bidders submitting proposals. Who's better than the person you owe $20 million and an entrepreneur who's been successful in that space? Right. Jay-Z is probably going to take over Uncle Nearest. I
can see that. And honestly, I'm not mad at that because imagine he takes over Uncle Nearest and employs Fawn.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean?
She needs some leadership in this
because
area.
Here's the thing. Me thinking, now this is my theory. The fact that we didn't get a press release might be because, you know what? I do want this money from Jay-Z. I don't want it to be bigger than the program, though. Yes. And he is larger than life. Yes. So we're going to do this
in this industry.
Yes. And I want it to grow organically, right? So I can definitely see that. But if it comes down to the cultural impact of what Uncle Nearest is supposed to stand for, and somebody who's also successful in this,
it has to be black owned.
It got to.
You can't let this go in the hands of some private equity firm where John Smith in a suit is making this cultural decisions.
No,
you can't let it get BET. And we're gonna talk about that later. But you can't let it get BET. Like you just can't. You can't do that. So I can see a path to where the MarcyPen situation could actually turn out to be a good PR move. Yes. And to kind of let Fawn save face.
I would love that.
I would love that too, because if this gets bought out by Jack Daniels, because apparently Jack Daniels like invested in it. I believe Jack Daniels is like on that cap table. I've had a lot of people hit me up and say that.
Wow.
Because we've been talking about this podcast. I haven't confirmed that, so I can't.
But if they are,
if they are, they would be a buyer. But that would be I was
about to say. And then another note, probably our last note, is, Fawn Weaver has always had something to say, and this is one of the quotes that she said. She said, and her company is called Grant Sidney. So she says, no fraud by Grant Sidney has been alleged with the particularity required for a federal pleading. The assertion that Uncle Nearest engaged in fraudulent conduct relating to the MarcyPen transaction is not correct. So she is standing 10 toes.
She's saying a lawyer wrote that. Of course, it sounds like a lawyer.
It sounds technical. Is why I wanted to point it out.
And you can literally say, "I didn't do fraud." Technically, technically, I didn't defraud you, but I kind of misled you, but that is fraud when you're talking about this amount of money, like misleading somebody. Because this is fraud. I raised $20 million for a tech startup, and I go invest in real estate. That's fraud, even if the real estate does well.
Right.
That's still technically fraud.
No, I agree. But that's what her lawyers are saying, that technically it's whatever the definition is, this is not what is required for the federal pleading. So that's what they're saying.
I wonder, though, were they saying that because it was some accusations of some criminal fraud activity? So I wonder if she's acknowledging the civil component, but denying the criminal component of it. Because if you defrauded somebody out of $20 million, that's you can go to jail. You can go to jail.
Yeah.
So I wonder, I don't want to put that energy out there because obviously this is business and her life is on the line in terms of business life. But if she defrauded it out of $20 million, her personal life is on the line. So that's a whole nother cat that needs to stay in the bag. I'm not trying to bring that out on her, but I wonder just off of that language if that's what she was kind of getting at. I don't know. because I'm not an attorney, so I don't really.
I was gonna say it does sound very technical, and it does sound like she's trying to save face. The reason why I thought it was important for this conversation is because remember, she's standing 10 toes down on she's not insolvent. The company is not insolvent.
Yes.
And also they're not participating in any fraudulent activities.
Yes.
Right now, for me, it's like, well, it's got to be one or the other.
It's one or the other. Either y'all are good and it was some fraud going on,
yes.
or y'all not good and y'all just books. Y'all.
Yes, but there's no fraud, but y'all are just insolvent. Like, correct. It has to be one or the other because the financial documents are gone. Like,
never, you haven't filed taxes in 8 years or 7 years or something since you've been, like, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. So either y'all are insolvent and y'all are hiding that, or somebody did some fraud. Now, we're not saying Fawn did it.
Right.
But somebody did something. And obviously they're blaming and they're suing their CFO.
Yes,
so I don't know why she just won't come out and say, yes, the CFO did fraud. Right. And we're trying to clean that up. But like to say no fraudulent act, like,
at all.
Just throw him under the bus completely.
Like everybody else. You got a great scapegoat. I don't know. Yeah. I'm ready for the flash sale. I want some Uncle Nearest.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. In order to continue to support independent journalism, I need you to subscribe to our page below. And also, if you want the full podcast and more exclusive content, make sure you subscribe to the Patreon. Link is in the description.